Welcome to the BNI Unite podcast, where connection meets commerce and business is built on relationships, not transactions. BNI Unite is a hybrid chapter that does business a little differently. 3 weeks out of 4, we meet online with a sharp, focused and efficient meeting. And on the first Friday of every month, we come together in person because nothing replaces the energy of a handshake, a laugh, or a coffee shared across the table. This podcast is more than referrals. It's about exploration of connection and real stories behind businesses. It's about the humans who show up every week committed to growth, not just their own, but each other's. Here we'll unpack the core values of BNI, givers gain, lifelong learning, accountability, building relationships, and we'll elevate the incredible businesses within our chapter. You'll hear the unique journeys, the pivots, the lessons, and the moments that shaped them. Whether you're a long-time member, a curious visitor, or someone who believes business should feel less lonely and more collaborative, you're in the right place. This is BNI Unite, built on trust, powered by relationships, growing together. Let's begin. Today's guest is Ellie Clare, founder and creative director of CLP Advertising Services, known for her down-to-earth approach and deep community ties. Ellie combines strategic thinking with creative storytelling to help local businesses stand out online. In 2024, her work was recognised with multiple awards, including Owner-Operator Business of the Year from Bunbury Geograph and Micro Business of the Year from the Southwest. And you were also the finalist of the Sole Trader category for the Collie Business Awards. Ellie's background spans business management, photography, design, digital marketing, and a blend that allows her to perceive both the creative and analytical side of her marketing. Her volunteer work and support for regional businesses remains close to her heart, and she continues to mentor others in the industry through her personal brand. Welcome, Ellie.
Thank you, Ming. I don't think I could have said that better.
So tell me a little bit about the biggest problem you solve in your business.
So I help people show up where their clients, their ideal clients, are actually searching for them. So, for example, on social media, on Google, in AI chats, all of that sort of stuff. So ensuring that they're being found where their clients are searching. And I'm also helping build the trust in order for that client to feel confident in reaching out to them.
Amazing. AI has become a big part of this space, right? And how do you see it evolving in this search space that's going on at the moment?
I don't think it will become the be-all and end-all. I don't think it's going to end up like, that's it. It's just AI. Yeah. I think we're still going to have that broad range of places where people go, trust, all of that sort of stuff. But I do think if businesses aren't invested and aren't onto it now, I think they're going to end up in the behind. If you're not already working with it, you're already behind in a way. So yeah, I think it's super important that everyone is aware and is open to actually investing in being available for AI or using AI within their business. I just think it's a really missed opportunity, and I'm already seeing data behind the scenes with my business of people who aren't interested. They're already falling behind.
Yeah, 100%. It's affecting everybody, absolutely. Now, BNI Unite's quite unique in the fact that we're a hybrid chapter. So we meet online for 3 weeks out of 4, and then we meet in person at the first Friday of every month. You are uniquely positioned in the fact that you are actually quite remote in Collie. And so as that remote member of BNI Unite, what's probably the most useful thing people can know about the benefits of BNI?
I'm a small town country girl. I have always been a small town country girl. And if I actually had a conversation with another BNI member recently, Karina, shout out. She said to me, the person that I am when I first started BNI to the person I am today are chalk and cheese. I was the person that would stand quietly in the corner and not talk to anyone. I would faint when it was my turn to present. I would never have even considered coming on a podcast. BNI has not only helped me build the business and helped me financially buy my own house, get an amazing, trustworthy car that doesn't die every time I drive up the Collie Hill. It has helped me build my confidence and have a team of people like yourself where I can go, hey, I've got this problem. Can you help me find a solution? So it's not just about getting work. It's about finding those amazing people that you can trust and open up to and say, hey, I've got this problem. I really need help, and that has been the most unexpected outcome of BNI for me.
I think so that really resonates, because there is something in being a business owner. One, aside from it being a completely unhinged activity, just deciding to start a business one day. And then the second part is you're quite alone in business. Like, you can't talk to your employees. You can't talk a lot of the time to your family, because as well, that unhinged sort of, oh, what are you doing that? Why don't you get a job? And I found, especially in BNI, you'll always find somebody who's either a little bit behind where you are in business or a little bit ahead of where you are in business. And so you can kind of have that really honest, candid conversation about, hey, I'm struggling with this situation in my business. Have you dealt with something similar? Can you give me some advice? Or, is there somebody you can direct me towards that might have the answers to this weird question that I don't know how to answer? And like, I think especially that education bit with the lifelong learning, I joined BNI originally because it was actually about the knowledge. It wasn't even about the referrals or passing business or anything like that. It was about, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I am literally winging it. I've been winging it for 15 years. What do you know that I don't know? Right?
Yeah, it's quite funny that you say that, actually, because growing up, I grew up in a family where it was what you were taught is what was, if that makes sense. So there was sort of no, there could be a possible another option, if that makes sense. So coming into business, I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew what I had to do, and was really stubborn in that. So the first few years I struggled just because I wasn't open to re-educating in a way that I needed to. For example, I turned down networking opportunities because it wasn't my thing. But then all of a sudden one day I turn up to a networking thing and it's ended up being the most amazing thing I've ever done. And being open to learning and not thinking I have to know everything, being allowed to not know is absolutely just the mindset is probably the best thing about it. Whole shift.
I probably came out of because I was managing somebody else's business and I was great at somebody else's business because they had an instruction manual for everything, right? And so I knew how to operate their business because they literally handed me the instruction manual for it. But that led to, when I started my own business, having this unrelenting arrogance that I knew what the hell I was doing. And then I think it was probably the first 6 months I fell down like a bunch of mental stairs of going, oh, I've got no idea what I'm doing. And my boss is an asshole because she makes me work 24/7, 7 days a week, right? She replies to emails in 3 a.m. in the morning like an unhinged maniac.
It was actually a BNI member that helped me with the whole boundary thing.
Right.
I would never have done that before.
And I found how you operate in a role or a job that you might have had before you started your business is exactly how you show up in your business, which, for me, that was exactly what you just said, is that lack of boundaries.
Yeah.
So what should people look out for when they're looking at booking a session with a social media and a content strategist?
It's like anything, transparency. If people are gatekeeping, if they're sheltering information, if they're not giving you the full story, if they're not willing to be open with you, you've really got to find someone that is in a spiritual way on your level. You've got to find someone that you resonate with. I used that word before. You've got to find someone that you connect with. And this is where I'm not really, I find I like who I am in this way, is I'm not for everyone. And that as well. You're not for everyone. And we've got two different types of people that are going to come to us. So it's where I work really well with other agencies, because sometimes I get someone who isn't on my level and doesn't understand, and they might be on your level and you might be able to make them understand. So I'm going to go, hey, go see me or whatever, or go and see another person who might be on a different level again. So it is, transparency is the most important thing. If they're not showing you results, like they don't have to show you results like with client names, but they can show you data and case studies and things like that. It's about building that trust. And if you can't trust them when you first start talking to them, start looking for other people that you might be able to feel that trust, that instant connection with. Use your gut is what I say. I know it seems really silly, but use your gut. Yeah.
I think because you and I are in similar industries. Like I hold the web seat in BNI Unite, and I find that in our particular industry, there's a lot of people that will make people feel stupid. Like they'll make their clients feel dumb, or they make their clients have like the fear of God, don't touch any button, or the sky will fall in and the earth will crumble beneath your feet. And so like I certainly know that you and I hold the same value in this, in terms of we want to educate our clients so that they feel safe with the technology. Like the tech isn't the problem here, and it's not that you've got a lack of knowledge. Quite often it's they're too afraid to be themselves.
Yep. And I 100% agree with that. I really, it's hard to explain. I actually had a conversation with someone recently. It was a referral from BNI. And obviously they are not at all technically advanced whatsoever. And that's actually 90% of my clients. They don't do computer, they don't do tech. Some of them are coming on board.
Button say no.
Yeah. Or I'll do button, but no more. Like just one button, that's it. It's that kind of advanced fear of technology. And I was trying to explain in a way that he would understand what I do and how I do it. And I ended up using something that you brought to me, was explaining marketing with metaphor. So I said to him, if you've got a vintage car and you just go and go and do up the body, the car's not going to be functionable. You've really got to work on the engine so you can still use the car and have it look great, and just by going into that simple analogy rather than talking the language out in our industry, just really helped him go, that makes sense. And now I get it. Leave me with it. And I'll come back to you with yes or can we change it? So it just gave him that comfort in knowing that I've explained it in a way that he understood. And it's so important in business that we don't just speak the language that we use. We have to be able to speak in a way that our clients understand. And that is the core of what I do.
Especially in tech, right? Especially when we're tech adjacent, I'd like to say. And like that, I love that metaphor. That's a great metaphor that you've created off the back of our conversation with that. And like it's really about giving clients a point of reference that they understand. And like I know that I've used the metaphor of the house when we're talking about websites and hosting and the email addresses and all of that sort of stuff. Is like as soon as you start explaining to people that, okay, your domain name is your street address, and you can get a mail redirect to anywhere else if you move house. So if you move your house to a different block of land, it's okay, it's fine. And people just get it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, whereas you usually have somebody who's going, oh yeah, well, the domain name and the hosting and your hosting's with
Redirects
this,
and
domain names over there. And they're like, I am so lost. What are you even, is this even English? Are you talking Greek at me? And that sort of fatigue, I think, it's that acronym and lingo fatigue that people get overwhelmed with in that space. I think a lot of our people in our industry don't help anyone in this particular piece.
And look, you know, they are probably in the space where they don't have the ability to communicate it. So they need to find someone in their business that can, you know. I've met a lot of developers who, you know, at midnight are on the computer, you know, they don't want to do the face-to-face. They don't want to have those conversations, but they need to have that person that can have those conversations. And this is where BNI is amazing, you know, and you can develop that team behind you if you don't want to actually employ people. For example, with you, with what I do, if somebody comes to me, you've got websites, you know, I'll find someone else that does Google Ads and so on and so forth. It's about building that, what I call, and I've just called it recently, a super team of people that can support me in my business to be able to provide the best outcome for my clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I love what we do so much. And I certainly love BNI for that. And I guess as well, like the thing about AI is that can almost be your translator. Like if you are a person who's watching this particular podcast episode and going, oh, I am very technical about the thing that I'm talking about, and my clients are constantly overwhelmed or giving me a deer in the headlights look. It's like, well, maybe that thing that you're saying, put it into an AI and ask it to create a point of reference metaphor for you. Like,
so one of the best prompts for that, one of the best prompts I've found is, can you please explain this at a 7th grade level?
Oh, nice. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
I remember that TV show. It's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? No, I just
found it explains it in a lot better way. Like, because I was struggling to explain something to a client, and I was like, I got AI to explain it to me in a way that they would understand it.
I love that.
And you got to use it, right?
Use the tools. The tools are there. The technology is there. So
I would have to employ 4 more people without it, you know.
So BNI has a whole bunch of values. We have a set of values that we follow, and a lot of us join because those values resonate with us as well. What is your favorite BNI value that aligns with you and your business? And tell me why.
This one's really hard to pick one, but this week I'm going to go with accountability, because being a solopreneur, it's so easy to get off track. And I will be honest, this week I have got off track. But BNI brings me back every week, because I've got to be there and I've got to be accountable to the people in that room. And I need to be following like the KPIs, you know, doing the one-to-one and this, that, and the other. I've fallen off track a little bit recently for work purposes and life purposes. But with BNI, the accountability isn't to the point where I feel stressed about having to do it. I feel motivated because I don't want to let all of these amazing people down. So it's not a stressful accountability. It's me turning up every week. It's me showing up not in my pajamas with my hair everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I mean, we're online. Pants are entirely optional.
we have days where we turn up in our pajamas or whatever, and nobody judges us. But it's the accountability just brings me back into myself and go, right, this week I need to speak to this amount of people, and I need to look for a referral for this person, and I need to do this. I need to connect that person. Like last week, our leadership coach asked for connections with business coaches. So I literally emailed every business coach an introduction to Sam that I know last week, and invited them all to today, and one turned up, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that relationship you know, those relationships might create something for her, because for me directly, I can't refer anything to her. I don't really have anyone in my life that is in that space. But if I can create that referral, constant referral through someone else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's kind of my goal with BNI Unite, is that I might not be able to give many direct referrals, but that's why you'll find that at all of the events, I don't sit down. I go and meet and I go and talk to everyone and whatever, because I'm trying to create those relationships so that I can bring more to my chapter.
Yeah,
you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, anyway, so accountability, but the other one is givers gain. Me being a very giving person, a very loving, kind, I want to give everything I can. And that's part of why I do what I do with Unite, because sometimes I can't bring enough referrals to the room. So I will do extra behind the scenes. I will, you know, like with you, when you need the additional support in the meeting, I'm there. I'm all for it, because it's about giving what I can give in order to benefit the chapter.
Well, it's worth noting that you recently won the Givers Gain Award for our chapter, which is nicely put, like subtly.
It wasn't actually intentionally done. It just ended up there.
I like that it's there because it reminded me that you won it. Yeah. Look, Givers Gain, and even the accountability piece, there's a point I kind of wanted to expand on there, where, you know, there's no real, like, there's no pressure for the accountability. We want to do it. It's a choice. Like, we're choosing to be in the room. And when you're choosing to join a network like BNI, that literally measures everything to its back teeth. Like, you kind of get motivated because you're seeing other people passing business in the room. You kind of want to get clear on what they're looking for, who their referral partner is. I think in my first year of BNI, I didn't really understand that. I thought I had to refer myself for everything in the room, and rather than going, well, who do I know that knows your client? And like, I quite often ask, who's your $100,000 client and who knows them?
Yeah.
And so that's, I guess, my question to you right now is, who is your $100,000 client and who knows them?
Well, it's quite funny because I have just signed to them.
Amazing. Yes.
So,
yes.
Look, $100,000 client is, for me, a bigger sort of national company that's looking to do work throughout, not just here locally. It can be obviously a business that is more local as well. I love the local work because obviously I can go in, do the video, do the photos, do all of that, but otherwise we outsource for that sort of stuff. But ideally it is a company that offers services that I'm kind of going blank now. Yeah, it's just, you know, when you think about it too much. Yeah, so it's
who knows your client?
Business coaches.
Yep.
People in the financial sector.
So like
accountants, yeah, financial advisors. Oh gosh, it's funny because you always remember them until you need to remember them. I know we talked about this so many times.
That's a pretty good list. Like finance and accountants, like, you know, they're the ones that have that trusted relationship, right? Like they're sort of the initial handover to the next step. And quite often they don't necessarily think about, well, how can I prevent my client from going out of business? How can I help support the client that I have who's in business, who's running a national brand? How do I support them and help them grow that's in a predictable sort of manner? And I think a lot of the time I've had that conversation with an accountant going, you're looking at the numbers, but the numbers don't tell the full story. Yeah. Because like you likely the same as me will go to an accountant and go, well, what does that number mean? And how much did it convert? And the client goes, I don't know how much business they converted. Whereas you and I are all about the numbers and the stats. And well, actually this made you this amount of money and we can track this. all the way through our relationship online to somebody who mentioned that they saw a Facebook post or a social media post.
Yeah. And that's actually where a lot of people convert for me, because they come to me and say, I'm with someone and they're doing social media or they're doing this, but I don't really know what I'm getting from it. And then I can go, cool, well, hey, this client is in a very similar place and this is the data behind the scenes. This is what's happening. And that's where they love it, because I'm actually able to show them that they're getting a return on their investment, whereas it's very hard if people aren't tracking that sort of stuff. And it's so easy to track. Why are you not tracking it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it's the same with websites, right? Like the amount of times that we come across clients who don't have their Google Analytics set up.
Yeah.
Or their Google Search Console, and they've been paying for search engine optimization for the last 10 years. And it's like, where's your data? Oh, I don't know.
That scares me. Yeah.
But again, that sort of ties in nicely and neatly to the accountability piece, right?
It does, yeah.
That all of that technology we have in our industry and you have in your industry is everything's trackable.
It is, yep. And it's also goes back to the transparency and the authenticity, is if you're not showing the clients the data, what are you not doing in order to warrant wanting to show them?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, anyway. I see it all the time and I don't want to name names or anything. So it's just like, you kind of think of it and you know, okay, cool, we can do better than this. So.
Well, let's do better, right? Let's
exactly
set them up properly, right? So how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Pretty much, you know, through socials, website, the BNI Connect app is a great way to contact me. It's jump on and reach out. I'd love to hear from anyone. Links
will be in the description.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in for the podcast. It is great to have you as a guest, and I look forward to many more in the future.
Sounds great. Awesome. Thanks so much, Ming.